Okay, now that you have gotten your client or potential prospect to book a call with you, here's what you're going to do in the call to then convert them to a paid client. Hi, my name is Fawzia Lala, and in this channel, I share with you strategies on how to grow your service business entirely for free. I am not a business coach, I'm a business owner myself, and I'm sick and tired of $1,000 courses out there that other business coaches sell with little to not much information. So I want to share all of those things for free because we deserve to grow our business without paying thousands of dollars. Okay, so we talked in our last video about how to start a service business with people in your community, friends who you know, and other people who are liking your posts or stories on your social media that you're posting. So once you have that conversation started, you have invited them to book a call with you. In this video, we're going to share what to do in that call. So I'm going to read a sample script. So once again, I have taken this $6,000 course where I got a script like this and I changed it to fit my purpose. So underneath this video, in this description, you're going to see both those scripts, the traditional formula that I was given and this script that I started using. Okay, so just like the video where I share the steps to go through, you're talking about your pain point, your goals, you're going to do kind of the same thing here, okay? So your goal is to first build rapport, say, hey, how's it going? Things like that. Then, you're kind of asking about, okay, so why'd you book this call? What prompted you to book this call? So getting them to speak. So your goal is to mostly ask questions and getting them to give the answers. Digging into their pain points. That's what you really want to do. Okay, why'd you book this call? And if they say, since my business is self-defense and empowerment, I can say, okay, I understand that you want to learn self-defense, but why is that important? So my goal here is to ask 3 to 5 whys, to have them dig deeper into their problem. So for example, okay, why'd you book this call? And they'll say, I want to learn self-defense. Okay, why do you want to learn self-defense? That's my second why. Yeah, I just feel really unsafe walking on the street and I take the bus to commute a lot, or I'm a nurse and I work late night and I take the subway back and I just don't feel safe. And okay, so why is it that you don't feel safe commuting? That's my third why. Because they're saying you don't feel safe, and that's not really why people want a program. There's a much deeper reason. And sometimes this can vary and sometimes it doesn't really vary. There's a few sets of patterns that people follow. So okay, why? Why do you really feel unsafe? And why do you feel that, you want to take this program kind of? And they'll say, yeah, because these people have approached me and then I've been touched and this person has yelled before. And so I might say, okay, so what do you think? What do you fear that's going to happen? So again, we're talking about fear. And this is not a why question, it's a what question, doesn't matter. I'm drilling in a little bit deeper. So what is it? What is this worst case scenario that you fear if this person is yelling or approaching or this, that? Like, what are you really envisioning that can happen? And so usually people will say, yeah, I can feel, I feel like I might be murdered or raped or so on and so forth. And so once again, I'll make another video on the ethics of this, okay, which is really important for you to think about. But for now, I'm just sharing things I learned and how I applied it, okay? So once they get to that point of, okay, this is the real reason, this is my deepest, darkest fear, you've kind of already gotten that small buy-in on why they really want this program. Not because they want to benefit, it's because they want to eliminate this pain, and this pain is so deep and is so real. Okay, so you've gotten to that part. Then, you kind of go through the call, share your story too. So you'll share, yeah, how you can relate. Yes, I understand, I can relate. Kind of what you did in the chat, except now it's in person, and now you can say a little bit more than just a one-liner, and you can say, yes, I have had this experience, so I understand, or my student went through this and this is the transformations she saw. So you're giving some validation to their fear and hope that, yes, I have done this, my students have done this, my clients have done this, and so you can do it too. And then you're going to go through their list of objections. Typically, their top 3 objections we have: time, money, and trust. Okay, so I don't have the time to take this course, or I don't really have the money for it, or I'm not really sure it's going to work for me. And you'll tackle these. You'll say, okay, so what is it that's stopping you from investing in something like this? Or what's prevented you from doing this before? Or what are some things that, you think that would block you from doing this? So they can say either, oh yeah, I don't really think I have time. And then you're going to tackle that. Okay, how much time do you think you have? And you can say, yeah, that's all, that's how much you need. And you can get enough done in that much time. Or if they say, I don't have the money, then you say, okay, well, how much are you willing to invest to protect your life and to save your life? Because if you don't have, in my case, right, self-defense, if you don't have a life, if you don't exist, nothing else matters, does it? So how much are you willing to put for something? You know, if this is highest priority, how much would you invest in a highest priority item for yourself? So getting them to deconstruct some of that. And finally, you're going to show some urgency to get them to invest now, right? So asking some of those questions too. Okay, why now? Why is it important? What is your commitment level? Is your husband, if it's a female-only program, is he fully supportive? Because if you're addressing men, they usually don't have financial qualms as much as women do. Because, oh, I don't earn, or I'm a student, or I'm a homemaker, and I have to ask my husband about it. Knowing that these questions are coming up and then tackling them. Okay, you know, let's get you signed up. So that before you end the call, you will share with them, okay, now that you have told me everything about you and what you need, here's how this program works. And you're going to just lay out the structure of the program without going into the details. Okay, we'll meet 1 hour a week, and then you're going to see a video, and this video will be this and that. Don't go into the detail. They don't want to necessarily know all the logistics of the program. What they want is the feeling. What are they going to accomplish? Their goals. That's what you want to focus on. So you'll use some of their own language back. You're going to share that language. So if they say, yes, my goal is to feel safe and feel confident in my body, then I'll say, so that's what you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to feel safe and confident in your body. Now, you're not lying. See, my program has this, literally, right? It has body language. It has speaking confidently. It has so much that I'm not going to share everything with them. That's overwhelming. Just the things that they want to focus on, I'll share, yes, I have that. And if they share something that I don't cover, like let's say they have, PCOS or endometriosis or some health concern like that, that's not part of my program. So I'm not going to say, yes, you're going to accomplish that, right? I'll focus on the things that they can accomplish. And then for those things that I don't directly talk about, I'll say indirectly, yes. And then people work on their emotional health, which actually improves their physical health. Because the less stress we have, the better immunity in our bodies can heal. So there's an indirect implication. So I'll share something like that. And then you're just going to say, okay, so now that I've shared with you what the program is, what it can entail, what do you think? Get them to say, yes, this is what I want. I feel like this is going to be a perfect fit. And delaying that financial conversation to the very end. And so they'll say, okay, what now? How much is it? Okay, if they ask in the beginning, you don't want to address it, you want to address it at the very end. And so then after they say, yes, this is great, this is what I want, there's no resistance, my husband will, there's a buy-in, et cetera, et cetera. And then you say, okay, my program is whatever it is, right? It's a 1-year program for $3,000 or whatever that is, okay? You're going to share that and then get them to close before you end the video call. So if they say, okay, I'll have to think about it, your goal is to say, okay, what do you need to think about? Let's chat. They'll say, oh, I'll have to talk to my husband. Oh, you know how we talked about this in the beginning, that your husband's already on board. So now what do you have to talk to him? Things like that, okay? Now, of course, there's an ethical side of this, which once again, I need to say, we will talk about it in a different video. This is just what coaches teach, okay? This is very standard. I've taken a few different programs and they all kind of say the same thing. So yeah, that you're just going to get them to sign on one way or another at the end of this call. So they don't get to think about it. And if they you cannot push them to sign on, then you'll say, okay, how about you do a deposit? It's a fully refundable deposit and we'll schedule a call tomorrow. This time you schedule it to sync up with them. If not tomorrow, okay, 2 days, here's a time. Okay, send the calendar invite, accept everything, paid the deposit. You've taken the credit card information. It's all done. Okay, before you end the call. So that's how you do it. And I'm going to run through my script so that you have an idea. And in the description below, I have the formula, the script that I was given, the script that I started using after modifying it several times. Both will be available. So go ahead, download it, copy it, and tweak it for yourself and for your business. So here we are. Objections. Okay. So I start the call with, hey, how's it going? Building rapport. How are you doing? How's your week? How's your day? Simple conversation. Then talk about agenda. So what are your goals? What are your challenges? Sorry, let me rephrase. We're going to talk about agenda as the second thing, which means you will say, hey, today's call is about talking about your goals and your challenges, what difficulties you're going through, and how I can help. So that they know what the structure of the call is. And if everything sounds great, then at the end, I will share with you information about my program. So one of the things I do is qualify them, because I've noticed that there are people who come to the program wanting to learn martial arts, and they have some different, or wanting to do some mental health counseling or something else, right? Or just more about physical health and nutrition, things that are not really directly related to the self-defense and empowerment. Yes, I have the mental, emotional side, right? Half of it is physical self-defense, the other half is empowerment. But again, not martial arts, not nutrition or mental health counseling. So I do that qualification, or ask those qualifying questions, and I tell them that, hey, I'm going to do an evaluation, right? Before I talk about the program, I want to let you know that I'm going to evaluate, or I'm going to see if this program is a good fit for you and if you're a good fit for the program. And if that's the case, I'll share more information about the program. Either way, I want to leave you with a plan, a fully customized plan. That way you can just go take it and execute it. And of course, the plan is generic. It just shares them the steps that they need to accomplish. Okay, in your case, it might be first you need to work on the anxiety. So that's the part you're going to do. Once the anxiety is brought down, maybe meditation is part of it. And then you're going to work on some of the body language. And once that's there, then you're going to work on some physical things. And so I'll lay that out for them that way, just a structure, so that they have an idea what it looks like even when they train in the program. And then I'll tell them, feel empowered to say no. Feel empowered, at the end when I share about the program, if it's not working for you, say no. Now do notice that I've changed this. The way I do my calls today is way more organic, way more ethical. We'll go into that part a little bit later. But this formula that I've changed, right? So I was given a script, I changed it and I created my own script and I used it pretty successfully. And that's what I'm sharing. And what I do today is different, and that is going to be another video, I promise. Okay. For now, I'm just going to walk you through this, keeping it simple. So talk about the agenda. Third thing is, please feel empowered to say no instead of I'll think about it at the end of the call. So get a buy-in that they will not say I'll think about it. So then I'll start with, okay, why do you want to learn self-defense? What kind of threats do you anticipate? What's preventing you from learning it? What does your life look like right now? What does your ideal life look like in 3 to 6 months? How do you envision or visualize it? What are your goals? How does self-defense fit into your life goals? Why is now a good time? Why is it a priority? What's gotten in your way? How do you plan on investing in your safety? Okay. So there's an in-between portion that I'll share, which is when you send them the calendar link, you need to ask these qualifying questions in that also. We will cover that. Or there's another video covering that. Okay. So this is now the call. So, okay, why is now a good time? Why is it a priority? You can even ask them, hey, when I asked you how committed are you from a 0 to 10, you said 7. Why is it a 7? Why is it not a 9? And then later when you explain the program, you'll say, now where are you at? Are you still at 7? And they'll say, no, now I'm at 9. Okay, what is it going to take you to bring you to a 10? What's missing? Why do you say 9? Okay, but anyway, for now you're saying, why is it a priority? What has gotten in your way? How do you plan on investing? I already shared that. And then do you have a partner you need to check in with who fully supports you? And then I'll say, I have a few more questions before I share with you what the plan is for you and if this program is for you or not. So let me just ask that. Then you're going to ask, okay, what's your commitment? 1 to 10. How coachable are you? 1 to 10. And then what value will you bring to the community? Because I have an internal community. I use Kajabi, and then part of that, you can create this community. So I want to make sure you're a good fit that I plug in. So they'll say, oh, I'm a very motivated person. I'm positive. This is how I'm going to share, right? So you're going to get them to say what value they add. And then finally, I'll say, okay, based on all these answers, congratulations, you're in. And then here's the pyramid. Okay, that's how I was told to do it. Here's the pyramid. This is the first thing you need. Second thing you need. Third thing, here's the foundation. The other way around. Here's the foundation. Building on it, we'll do this. And then the final piece is this, and so on. If you structure it that way, apparently it's easier for people to understand. I don't do this anymore. This is how I used to do it. It worked. And then I'll ask them, okay, so now that you understand, what do you think? They'll say whatever they think. How do you think Defense Ninjas is going to help you achieve your goals. That's the name of my business. And then they will tell you why they think they're a good fit for your program. Okay, and then at the very end, apparently, once you kind of get all the buy-in, you say, okay, let's sign on. Here's, pay the money. If they say think about it, you can remind them, hey, you said you won't say that. If they can't pay for the program fully, you're not going to take the credit card, and that doesn't happen. You at least take the credit card for a refundable deposit and schedule another time. And once all of it is done, if they do sign up for the program, at the very end, you'll say, can you think of anyone else who might benefit from this conversation? And then you get the name, phone number, email address, contact info, and you reach out to them, say, hey, my friend Amy talked about you and said that you might benefit. And so I want to learn about you, and you start that chat conversation all over again with a new person. So this is a great way to get people to sign on to your program. Have fun with this. And if you have questions, put them in the comment box below and I'll do my best to answer.